Hey guys, it's Savannah with Ecofine Properties, and today I'm here to go over 5 things that you may not be aware of when it comes to new construction communities here in the Palm Beach, Martin, and St. Lucie County areas. So the first thing that a lot of consumers are not aware of in current new construction communities is the move-in ready options. A lot of buyers have the misconception that if you're going to buy any new construction community, you're going to have to wait a year to a year and a half to close. And that doesn't work for a lot of buyers. In a lot of cases, they need to move in much sooner. Builders got savvy to this. They started offering move-in ready options. They have a design team on staff that picks out most of the trendy options anyways, so you don't have to deal with any of that. And then you get the perk of closing as soon as 30 days up to as late as 4 months, but really no longer than that, depending on the inventory and move-in ready options that they have available. That's one perk to the number one thing that most people don't know. The other thing is the incentives that builders are currently offering. You can still go the route where you choose a lot, build the home, pick your finishes, etc. If you go that route, most builders are offering incentives towards basically credits towards finishes and allowance to doing upgrades for the home. So this can be a huge incentive for buyers, especially in the luxury market, that may want to select some of their finishes and want everything turnkey. They don't want to deal with upgrading anything once they move in. Some of the other incentives they're offering for homes like quick move-in ready options where an allowance does you no good because the finishes are already selected. They then offer money towards closing costs, down payment, also buy down the rate for the life of the loan. You have an option of these 3 incentives. Depending on the price point, you may even get all 3 incentives. And in some cases, I've even seen the ability to negotiate the price that's being offered, as well as getting some of these incentives as these builders are getting more and more motivated to trade inventory and get it sold. So these are some huge incentives. I had a lovely family that had wanted to be an Ardent for a very long time and were finally able to afford it because they were able to use the buy down rate incentive and get a rate in the 4% when the average consumer is paying 5 to 7 right now. And that can make a big difference to what you can afford. So these incentives are very helpful if you find yourself having a hard time affording things in our local market. Builders may have some options that can work for you, and you don't have to wait a year to a year and a half to get in. The second thing that a lot of people don't think about when it comes to new construction, or may not even be aware of, is the insurance savings, especially because a lot of homes in South Florida, as far as resale goes, are older homes. This means that the insurance costs are going to be a little bit higher, and it goes a lot more than just windows and roofs, right? It's really overall building codes, age of plumbing, electrical, etc. So the peace of mind of a new construction home is everything is new and it's up to the most current building codes. So that's electrical, plumbing, roofing, windows, etc. are all built with modern standards, and this can mean lower insurance premiums for a lot longer than the first year of ownership, especially in vulnerable areas like South Florida where we have things like hurricanes. Also, many new construction communities are offering as a standard impact-resistant windows, better insulation, which can reduce risk and insurance cost and give you additional savings towards insurance that you may not otherwise get on the resale side of things. The third thing that a lot of people don't think about or even are aware of when it comes to new construction is the less stressful transaction. If you've never bought a new home through a large builder, you're not even really sure what to expect. But the reality is when you're buying resale, you're often doing inspections, negotiating repairs, worrying about whether or not the roof is going to need to be replaced to get insurance, whether plumbing is up to par, or if there are going to be any hidden issues that you find out about after you close on the home. In new construction, obviously a lot of those concerns go away. The home is brand new, so fewer chances of major repairs in the short term. And since builders often handle many details like HOA approvals, permitting, your transactions smoother, less hiccups to deal with throughout the process, and the peace of mind that everything is new and covered by some sort of warranty for at least a year, if not more, depending on certain items of the home. And while you may still have inspections and you always need an appraisal if you're getting financing, It's not necessarily a contingency of the deal moving forward. It's more of that peace of mind of knowing what you're dealing with, giving a nice little checklist for the builders to finish out, a punch list, if you will. Appraisals are just a condition of financing, but you don't have to necessarily worry about it coming in low or having any issues that might hinder your closing or cause you have to go back to the negotiation table 20, 30, 40 days into the transaction. Number 4, one of the biggest things that a lot of people are not aware of when it comes to new construction right now is your ability to negotiate. And I know that I touched on this a little bit with quick move-in ready homes and the incentives that builders are offering, but negotiations go beyond that. I am even seeing, on top of the amazing incentives that they're offering, that you can even negotiate price and some other standards, right? Much like a car salesman or buying a new car, the sticker price that you see on the window isn't necessarily the sales price. These guys need to move homes. As a big builder, they're not so much worried about their bottom line and profit because it's actually costing them more to carry inventory month over month over month than to sell at a loss or a small profit. So with that said, if you think that you cannot afford new construction, I'd give it a shot in this market. You just never know. You could walk in, tell them what you want your payment to be, what you ultimately want to pay. And much like a car salesman, they do some magic in the back room and they come back out and they say, Savannah, if I can get your payment to be this today, will you sign and wire us money and buy a home? So at the end of the day, this is some of the best negotiation that I am seeing for new construction. If you've ever given it a thought, I would just not rule it out. Go in there, talk to builders, find out what you can put together and whether or not it makes sense for you. And the 5th and final thing that a lot of people overlook when it comes to new construction is the amenities, the social lifestyle. A lot of these new communities are getting built with some insane clubhouses with very low HOAs when you look at the social membership of a Lifetime Fitness and things like that. These are very comparable and you're getting a lot more. If you're a family with kids, it's a great opportunity for your kids to make friends. So if you're new to an area, I always tell my clients that are just moving here, dive into a new construction or an HOA community for the first few years. It's a great way to get to know people, build a social lifestyle. It's a good chance your kids are going to be going to school with the people in their neighborhood, and those neighborhoods really do a lot to promote socialness and getting to know people in the community. The other thing is a lot of these HOAs, like I said, they have crazy clubhouses. We're getting agri-hoods, places like Newfield and Arden that offer farm-to-table food trucks, family-centric activities, health and lifestyle, walking, fitness, etc. So it's everything you could ever want in one community. So those are things that you're not necessarily going to get from resale and older HOA communities that just haven't gotten a chance to stay up with all the trendiness of all these things. It costs a lot to upgrade clubhouses. Most people want to keep their HOAs low, so they tend to opt out on that. So the beautiful thing about new construction is you can move in not only to a new home, but a new community, make new friends, enjoy all the new social aspects and the crazy new clubhouses and amenities that come along with that. If you have any questions or you're interested in new construction here in the Palm Beach, St. Lucie, or Martin County area, reach out to me. I'd love to dive more into the specific incentives that builders are offering, which communities are doing better, which builders have better reputations, all that good stuff. So give me a call, 786-251-4177, or reach out to me. I'm happy to answer any questions. Drop a comment below, hit like on this video, and hit subscribe if you want some more meaningful and educational content on local real estate.